The author provides the example of a physician who, despite working incredibly hard, was unable to earn sufficient money. Upon investigation, it was found that his sole intent was somehow paying off his debts. This was a negative and narrow objective. When he shifted his intent to, "I will save more lives using modern technology," surprisingly, his income multiplied. This happened because his purpose was no longer just about filling his own lack, but about serving humanity. Friends, today we are stepping into a journey that will transform your relationship with wealth. Here is what these 12 lessons will teach us. Chapter 1. Money is not just paper, it is a powerful energy to fulfill your life's goals. Chapter 2. Identifying the fears and old misconceptions about money hidden in your subconscious mind. Chapter 3. Finding your true life intent, which will naturally attract money toward you. Chapter 4. Shifting your perspective on surrounding resources to move from a scarcity to an abundance mindset. Chapter 5. How to set goals so that your energy is not wasted but transformed directly into success. Chapter 6. Understanding how your environment and the people around you influence your financial energy. Chapter 7. Why we often self-sabotage our finances knowingly and how to escape that trap. Chapter 8. Maintaining integrity, how keeping your word increases the flow of money. Chapter 9. Letting go of worry and making every financial decision with absolute confidence. Chapter 10. Strategies to transform small obstacles into strength on the path to achieving big goals. Chapter 11. How to create more abundance for yourself by helping or serving others. Chapter 12. Creating a master plan for money. Chapter 1. Money is an energy. The core message of this chapter is, money is not the goal, it is a transformation or energy of the service you provide. Maria Nemeth claims that we run blindly after money only because we consider it a piece of paper or a bank balance, but money is actually a flow. Money is the fuel needed to turn the goals or dreams of your life into reality. When you fear or hate money, you're actually stopping your own life force. The primary lesson of this chapter is, do not fear money, rather learn to respect it and use it as a tool to fulfill your purpose. Real-life examples and philosophy. The example of electricity. The author compares money to electricity. Electricity itself is neither good nor bad. If you use it to light a bulb, the room becomes bright, but misuse can lead to danger. Money is exactly the same. If your mindset is clear, this energy will beautify your life. Money does not change your character. Instead, it amplifies what is already inside you. Water flow and the dam. Nemeth gives a wonderful example. Money is like flowing water. If you trap this water in a hole out of fear, extreme stinginess, the water will eventually stagnate or stink. But if you build a dam and use that water systematically, it can grow crops. In other words, you must learn not to just hoard money, but to let it flow toward the right purpose. Aimless running versus purpose. The author explains through a short story. Most people spend their lives chasing money because they think it will make them happy, but money only reveals itself to those who have a noble intent. If you simply say, "I want money," it is a hollow phrase, but when you say, "I will serve people or build a school with this money," the universe begins to send that energy or money toward you. The practical exercise of this chapter. Exercise. Take a note out of your wallet. Look at it calmly. Now ask yourself, what kind of emotion arises in your mind when you look at this piece of paper? Fear, hatred, greed, or joy? Objective. To discover your current psychological relationship with money. Until you build a friendly and respectful relationship with money, this energy will not stay permanently in your life. Three major lessons of this chapter. Money is a means, not the end. It is a vehicle that carries you toward your life's intentions. Respect the energy. Treat money with the same respect you would give to any powerful tool or resource. The law of circulation. For money to stay healthy in your life, it must circulate toward meaningful goals rather than being stagnant. Friends, today you learned what money really is and how it works. But did any wrong teachings from childhood or society plant a fear of money in your subconscious? Why do we repeatedly feel a lack of money? See you in the second chapter, where Maria Nemeth will. Chapter 2. The Financial Map of Your Subconscious Mind. The core message of this chapter is, your current financial status depends more on the old beliefs of your subconscious mind than on your hard work. Maria Nemeth claims that an invisible map or blueprint of money is created inside everyone's head. Things we heard about money from family or society as children, for example, money is the root of all evil or rich people are bad, get deeply embedded in our minds. No matter how hard you work, if your subconscious considers money bad, it will repeatedly stop you from succeeding. The goal of this chapter is to identify and destroy those old harmful beliefs. Real-life examples and philosophy. The thermostat example. The author gives an excellent technical example. Just as the thermostat in an AC or heater keeps the room temperature at a specific point, say 25 degrees Celsius, your mind keeps your bank balance at a specific level. If your income suddenly increases, your subconscious will lead you to make wrong decisions or unnecessary expenditures so that you return to your old comfortable financial state. This is called the financial thermostat. The chain of the baby elephant. When a circus elephant is small, it is tied with a strong chain. The baby elephant tries hard but cannot break it. When the elephant grows big and powerful, it is tied with only a thin rope. The elephant could easily break it if it wanted to, but it doesn't even try because it is ingrained in its mind, I cannot break this. Similarly, society has placed imaginary chains in our minds regarding money that prevent us from growing. The invisible wall. The author explains that many people repeatedly face the same types of financial problems. Someone might lose money every time they start a business, or someone else might not be able to hold on to money as soon as they get it. Nemeth says this isn't luck, it is that map in your subconscious leading you down the same wrong path. Until you change the map, the destination won't change. The practical exercise of this chapter. Exercise. Take a paper and pen and write down 3 negative things you heard about money from your parents or elders in childhood. For example, does money grow on trees? Now write false in large letters next to those statements and write a positive sentence opposite to them. The universe has abundant resources and I am worthy of receiving them. 3 major lessons of this chapter. Awareness is the first step. You cannot change a belief you haven't identified. Shine a light on your hidden financial fears. Reset your thermostat. Consciously decide to raise your internal limit on how much success and wealth you are allowed to have. Break the mental chains. Realize that the limitations you feel today are often based on past experiences that are no longer true for your present self. Friends, today you learned about those invisible walls that were preventing you from becoming wealthy. But is changing your belief enough? No, you must have a specific life intent. How can you transform? Chapter 3. Your true life intent. The core message of this chapter is, vague goals never bring clear results. Maria Nemeth claims that most people want money because they believe it will solve all their problems. But this is a wrong intent. Money reveals itself only to those whose life purpose or intent is crystal clear. When your purpose is merely to fill your own lack, your energy remains weak. But when your purpose is to fulfill a greater goal or serve a cause in the world, the universe begins to send money towards you as the necessary fuel to achieve that goal. Real-life examples and philosophy. The example of the bow and arrow. The author explains that intent is like a bow, and money is like an arrow. If you have the best bow and arrow in the world, but no target, the arrow is worthless. Similarly, earning money without a goal is like firing arrows in every direction aimlessly. Only when you set your target does the money or energy help you reach it. The law of the vacuum. Maria Nemeth mentions a fascinating scientific theory. Nature abhors a vacuum. When you create a noble intent in your life and start working towards it, a mental vacuum is created. The universe is compelled to send opportunities, people, and money to fill that vacuum. But if you have no big plans, no vacuum is created, and the path for money to flow remains closed. The story of a physician. The author provides the example of a physician who, despite working incredibly hard, was unable to earn sufficient money. On investigation, it was found that his sole intent was somehow paying off his debts. This was a negative and narrow objective. When he shifted his intent to, "I will save more lives using modern technology," surprisingly, his income multiplied. This happened because his purpose was no longer just about filling his own lack, but about serving humanity. The practical exercise of this chapter. Exercise. Write down on a page how much money you want to earn. Next to that amount, write "so that I," and then write your noble purpose, how you will benefit yourself or others. Objective. To convince your subconscious mind that you don't just want to collect paper, but you want to bring about a beautiful change with this money. The bigger this why or purpose is, the more intense your success energy will be. 3 major lessons of this chapter. Money follows intent. Don't chase money. Chase a clear purpose, and money will follow as a resource. Service is the highest intent. Objectives focused on helping others create a stronger energetic pull for wealth than self-centered ones. Eliminate vague desires. Be specific. Instead of "I want to be rich," define exactly what that wealth will accomplish. Friends, today you learned why money will never stay with you permanently without a specific intent. You have now found that big goal for your life. But is your surrounding environment? Chapter 4. The Abundance Mindset and Environment. The core message of this chapter is, abundance is not an achievement, it is a perspective. Maria Nemeth claims that we mostly live in an environment of scarcity. We constantly think, "I don't have enough," or "opportunities are running out." This negative environment drains our financial energy. The author states that there is no lack of resources in the universe. When you start looking at the small resources and opportunities around you with gratitude, your environment transforms from scarcity to abundance. The more abundant your environment becomes, the more your financial flow will increase. Real-life examples and philosophy. Real-life examples. The example of the glass of water. The author brings a different dimension to the classic glass example. Usually, we ask if the glass is half empty or half full. But Maria Nemeth says a person with an abundance mindset looks at the glass and sees that it doesn't just contain water. There is air filling the rest, a table supporting it, and a body capable of drinking it. In short, focusing on what is missing increases lack, while focusing on what is present increases abundance. The example of the forest. To understand abundance, the author asks us to look at a forest. In a forest, there are billions of leaves, thousands of trees, and countless insects. Nature shows no sign of lack or falling short. Nature always gives generously. When you think of yourself as a part of this nature, the poverty consciousness within your mind begins to wash away. The influence of social circles. The author gives a practical social example. Suppose you spend time with a group of friends who constantly talk about rising prices, lack, and hardships. Unknowingly, you will get stuck in that same frequency of lack. Conversely, if you are in an environment where possibilities and progress are discussed, your brain will start finding new ways to generate income. Your environment is the architect of your financial destiny. The practical exercise of this chapter. Exercise. Go for a 5-minute walk outside every day. While walking, mentally create a list of 10 things around you that you have in plenty. For example, sunlight, air, the strength to walk, the road, etc. Objective. To train your brain to look for abundance instead of lack. When you are grateful for the small resources around you, the path for larger resources to enter your life is created. 3 major lessons of this chapter. Gratitude is an energy multiplier. Acknowledging what you already have creates the mental space for more to arrive. Audit your environment. Surrounding yourself with scarcity-minded people or media will anchor your finances to a state of lack. Nature as a mentor. Observe the inherent generosity of the natural world to remind yourself that the universe is designed for expansion. Chapter 5. Success Targets and Energy Focus. The core message of this chapter is, results appear wherever energy flows. Maria Nemeth demonstrates in this chapter that most people fail to succeed because their energy is scattered in too many minor directions. This is called energy leakage. When you try to achieve many goals simultaneously, neither your financial power nor your personal capability reaches fulfillment. The primary lesson of this chapter is to transform your intent into a specific and measurable target. When your focus becomes as sharp as a laser, money or any other resource is compelled to reach your goal. Real-life examples and philosophy. Laser versus ordinary light. The author provides a brilliant science-based example. The light from an ordinary bulb spreads throughout the room. While it illuminates the space, it cannot cut through anything. But when that same amount of light is focused into a narrow point, it transforms into a laser, which can even pierce through steel. If you use your life energy or money like a laser towards a specific goal, major financial obstacles will vanish in an instant. Roadmap and driving. The author gives the example of a journey. If you simply say, "I want to go north," there is no guarantee you will reach your destination. But when you fix a specific city or house number on a map, only then do you understand how much fuel, money you need and how much time it will take. Nemeth states that if your financial goals are vague, for example, "I want to be very rich," your brain cannot create an effective plan. Your goal must be specific. For instance, "I want to acquire this specific amount of wealth in the next 2 years. The haystack and the lens. The author reminds us of a childhood experiment. When we use a magnifying glass or lens to focus sunlight onto a piece of paper, it catches fire. Without the lens, the sun's heat cannot burn the paper. Your intent is that lens, which consolidates your scattered willpower and transforms it into success. The practical exercise of this chapter. Exercise. Write down your 5 biggest desires at this moment on a white piece of paper. Now ask yourself, which single desire, if fulfilled, would make achieving the other 4 goals easier? Circle that one goal and plan to spend all your time, effort and money solely on that one objective for the next 90 days. Objective: to give your subconscious mind a single target so it can direct all your financial energy towards that point. 3 major lessons of this chapter. Stop energy leakage. Identify where you're wasting time or money on things that don't align with your primary goal. Specificity is power. A goal that cannot be measured cannot be achieved. Define your success in numbers and dates. The 90-day rule. Focus intensely on one major task for 3 months to create the momentum needed for long-term wealth. Friends, today you learned how to focus your scattered energy into a single goal like a laser. You now know where you want to go. But on your journey, are the people around you becoming obstacles? Why do some people propel you forward while others drain your energy? See you. Chapter 6. Your Environment and Financial Flow. The core message of this chapter is, your financial success is not yours alone. It is a reflection of the environment around you. Maria Nemeth claims that humans are socially influenced by others. If you stay with a group of people who always talk about lack, complaints, and negativity, your financial energy will gradually dry up. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who believe in growth and abundance, your financial flow will increase manifold. The lesson of this chapter is create a success ecosystem for yourself. Real-life examples and philosophy. The story of the crab bucket. The author gives a famous example. When there are many crabs in a bucket, whenever one crab tries to climb out, the others pull it back down. In our society too, there are many people who will try to scare or discourage you whenever you set a big financial goal. Nemeth says that to grow, you must stay away from people with this crab mentality. The mirror effect. Using a psychological insight, Nemeth explains that we become the average of the 5 closest people in our lives, both in terms of income and mindset. We unknowingly mimic the behavior and spending patterns of those around us. If you want to be wealthy, you must associate with people who know how to manage money and are not afraid of building wealth. Encouragers versus energy drainers. The author divides the people around us into 2 groups, those who encourage you to dream big and those who drain your energy. Nemeth advises sharing your financial goals only with those who will support you. Revealing your dreams to the wrong people can destroy them before they even begin to sprout. The practical exercise of this chapter. Exercise, create a list of the 5 people you are closest to. Now next to their names, write whether they encourage you to grow or increase your fear. Objective, to identify which people in your life are standing as obstacles to your financial progress. Reduce the time you spend with those who make you feel a sense of lack and increase contact with those who inspire you. 3 major lessons of this chapter. Your network is your net worth. The mindset of your inner circle acts as a ceiling or a floor for your own financial success. Protect your energy. Treat your financial intent like a flickering candle. Don't let the winds of cynical people blow it out. Conscious association. Wealth building is a team sport. Find mentors and peers who have already reached the financial destination you desire. Friends, today you learned why hard work alone isn't enough to become wealthy and how crucial the company of the right people is. But do you know that sometimes we knowingly sabotage our own finances? Why do we make wrong decisions and ruin everything just before achieving success? See you in the 7th chapter, where Maria Nemeth will reveal the trap of self-sabotage, knowing